now to Canada, where it has announced major changes to its immigration policies, which could potentially force millions to leave. The Trudeau government has introduced reductions in the number of both permanent as well as temporary residents entering Canada over the next 3 years. These changes are part of a revised immigration revamp and a plan which aims at addressing Canada's housing, healthcare and infra challenges. Immigration Minister Mark Miller has said that close to 5 million temporary permits are set to expire by end of 2025. And unless the permit holders transition to PR, which is permanent residency, or successfully renew their permits, most of them will have to leave. Under the new immigration rules, the annual target for permanent residents will decrease by 21% from 500,000 to about 3,95,000 by 2025. Temporary foreign workers and students are also expected to see cuts. The number of temporary foreign workers are estimated to drop by 40% and international student intake by 10% by 2026. Now, what is the reason for this? What is the impact of this as far as India is concerned? And what does it translate in terms of numbers is what we are going to now discuss with Rohit Sharma, who joins us live from Delhi to decode the significance of what Canada has come up with. Rohit, in your assessment, how significant are some of these announcements that Canada has made today?
These are definitely very significant announcements from the perspective that the overall perception towards Canada as a destination to migrate to Canada is beginning to, to get very much diluted because of all these kinds of announcements. But, like as you yourself has mentioned, this has actually happened to address the growing concerns over the medical sector, on the housing sector, and the rising unemployment. What actually has happened, post-pandemic 2019, when I look back, the Canada, in fact, has started encouraging a lot of temporary foreign worker program because they wanted to fix up their overall country's economy at that time, and they were able to fix it up well as well. In 2023 alone, 88% of jump happened, on the temporary foreign worker visa compared to 2019. So you can understand the kind of influx that has happened in the last 5 years or so. So obviously that has impacted the overall housing sector. The prices of houses actually have gone beyond, and medical infrastructure
it's
has
also an
taken.
election year, and Trudeau is running a minority government. And as far as popularity ratings are concerned, he's seen a massive dip of about 20%. So if local residents feel the pinch when it comes to cost of living on so many parameters, he has to, and his government has to, of course, respond to that. Having said that, in terms of the impact on Indian students, if you could tell us how significant could that be, and also the number of people you think who may not be able to transition either to get a PR or to renew their existing permits. How significant are those buckets of people likely to be?
Yeah, massive, as regards students are concerned, because students are actually coming under this temporary foreign workers category. They are the majority ones. Almost 42% of students are there who actually are just on study basis. Otherwise, overall, if you look at, 100% of temporary foreign workers that are there in Canada, 58% are the ones who have studies and who also have the work permits there. Now, with this cancellation, close to 7 lakh 66,000 students are going to be impacted because of this. And if they are not going to get conversion to PR, they are coming back. So you can understand the kind of shock I'm using the word shock, they will actually get into, because their entire objective of going to Canada was not just studies alone. They wanted to stay there, live there, and make their livelihood after gaining study of that country, gaining good employments. So you rightly said, yes, election year is there. So Mr. Trudeau is doing anything and everything possible, to generate as much interest in the locals there as well, trying to highlight this. My submission always is that, this is something the Canadian government were always aware. That is why I was saying, when they raised the temporary foreign worker visa status to almost 88%, at that time, they should have been cautious. They can't just, come tomorrow and say, hello, we are canceling up all the visas, now go back.
Okay.
It is not, it is a lifetime, damage to
These
someone's...
are major changes and major decisions that people have to make, and they stand to get impacted on that. Thank you so much, Rohit, for speaking to us on an important story that impacts many students across India.